The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Jess De Los Santos. The Health Department says 92% of localities remain at high risk due to the rising cases of COVID-19. That's equivalent to 111 out of 121 provinces, highly urbanized cities, and independent component cities. Health Secretary Francisco Duque III also reported that for the first 2 weeks of September, the country is logging 83 COVID-related deaths per day on average. That's why Duque renewed calls to increase COVID bed capacity in hospitals and make sure that quarantine facilities are properly utilized to decongest hospitals.
At dahil sa patuloy na tumataas na healthcare at ICU utilization rate, amin pong paulit-ulit na hinihikayat o inuudyok ang mga ospital at lokal na pamahalaan na maglaan ng sapat na COVID-19 beds, ICUs at mechanical ventilators upang magkaroon ng sapat na kapasidad para sa ating moderate, severe, and critical cases. Kinakailangan din natin gamitin. Napakamahalaga po ito para hindi mabilaukan ang ating pong mga ospital, ang temporary treatment and monitoring facilities. Ito po ay ang mga quarantine facilities para po sa ating mga asymptomatic and mild cases na dapat dito po at hindi sa mga ospital magpupuntahan.
Meanwhile, vaccine czar Carlito Galvez Jr. said the country may reach 40 million administered vaccines this week. Galvez said that as of September 14, the government has inoculated more than 39.5 million Filipinos. He added that the country will be receiving more than 30 million COVID-19 vaccines this month, including 5 million doses from Moderna.
So nangako ang Moderna po na nagkaroon po sila ng slippage na 1.8 million last month. Ipupunuan po na 5 million po ang i-deliver this month. So magsimula po sila bukas at Sunday, baka magkaroon po tayo ng mga deliveries from Moderna.
Metro Manila Council Chairman and Parañaque Mayor Edwin Olivares says granular lockdowns will be implemented by mayors based on the assessment of the city health offices of each LGU. On Radyo 5's Failon, Olivares said streets or villages found to have at least 2 or more COVID-19 cases could be placed under granular lockdown. But if cases are isolated within one household or unit, that's the only place that will be put under lockdown. In condominiums, Olivares said city health officers will inspect whether the space is enclosed to determine whether a lockdown should be implemented on just one unit or the entire floor where a COVID case is detected.
So the recommendation ng ating City Health Office po natin, yung po recommendation po nila based po sa ating data, tapos dadalhin po yan sa ating po local task force immediately. Oras lang po pinag-uusapan po dyan at pagkakaroon na po na lockdown.
Meanwhile, Olivares clarified that there will be no jail time for those caught violating granular lockdown protocols.
Pababalikin po sila at nakabantay po doon at hindi sila papayagan lumabas. Based po yan sa guidelines ng ating IATF. Meron po kami mga ordinance tungkol po dyan.
Majority of parents from an elementary school in Navotas City are open to allowing their children to attend face-to-face classes. This as the DepEd's pilot implementation of physical classes remains pending with the President. Jenny Dongon reports.
Teachers of Kapitbahayan Elementary School in Navotas are busy preparing and reconfiguring this room into a modified classroom. That's in preparation for the limited face-to-face classes should the school be chosen as one of the 120 pilot school areas. The pilot run of these face-to-face classes will focus on students in the kindergarten to grade 3 as advised by medical experts.
Sinigurado natin na bawat desk ay nilagyan po natin ng barrier. At ang bawat bata po ay mga may sanitation rin po silang dala na pinagkaloob po ng ating paaralan. Dito po ay may 15 desk tayo na uupuan ng mga bata with chair.
Based on the guidelines set by DepEd in consultation with medical experts, only around 12 students in kindergarten and not more than 16 in grades 1 to 3 will be allowed to participate in the face-to-face classes.
Halimbawa po ay grade 1 na may 30 bata hanggang 35. Tatlong hati po to, tatlong groups. Group A, Group B, Group C. At may mga oras po, tagdadalawang oras po. At ang pagkatapos po ng isang session, i-disinfectant po natin itong kwarto. After 1 hour, may papasok naman pong another group.
Teacher Quijano said they conducted a survey among parents to ask whether they will allow their children to go to school during face-to-face classes. 75% or 3 out of 4 parents said yes. The school principal added that all of their teachers and staff are fully vaccinated. But despite these preparations, the school says this setup will be voluntary and no student is compelled to attend their face-to-face classes. When asked about their precautions should there be an outbreak, the principal says,
Isasara po pansamantala siyempre kasi yun naman po ang protocol. Kahit saan po tayo pumunta, meron po tayong grace period kung hanggang kailan po ang sakop ng ating pag-a-isolate sa mga bata para ma-disinfect rin po itong kwartong ito.
This proposal has drawn different reactions from parents.
Minsan gusto ko nang pahintuin sa sa online para alam siyang masyadong natutunan yung nanay siya gumagawa halos lahat halos 80% yung sa bata konti lang sana balik na sa klase.
Okay lang din po yun. Kaysa po na sa bahay, wala na silang matutunan. Kasi minsan po kasi kami may pasok din sa trabaho. Hindi naman po pwede na tutukan namin sila kasi wala na po kami makain.
Okay naman po kahit magano kami mag-online class.
Bakit po?
Kasi parang mas ligtas yung mga anak namin sa virus. Kaya mas okay na lang din pag ganito. Pinagtsatsagaan na lang namin kunin yung mga module nila.
For now, the DepEd's proposal is still waiting for President Duterte's nod. For News 5, Jenny Dongon, PR1 News.
The COMELEC rejects the call of some lawmakers to extend the deadline for voter registration by at least a month. The poll body wants to follow their current timeline so they can focus on preparations for Election Day. Manos Baños with the report.
Voters looking to register for the 2022 elections lined up early in the day at the COMELEC office in Quezon City. For them, every vote counts.
Sa nangyayari ngayon sa government natin, siguro it's time for a change na po. Maiboto yung mga dapat na nakaupo.
Kahit very early in the morning, pumila pa rin kami kasi one vote is very important.
Voters registration ends September 30 and COMELEC says there won't be any extension. Lawmakers are appealing through filed resolutions to have it extended until October 31.
There are so many preparations na maapektuhan po, Madam Chair. We cannot compromise those other preparations kasi po because of also the pandemic situations, talagang medyo ipit na kami.
The COMELEC is already focusing on Election Day concerns, particularly the need for more voting precincts. The target is to have only 800 voters per precinct. This would require an additional 10,000 more vote counting machines or VCMs that would cost 1 billion pesos. Due to budget constraints, the poll body isn't sold on a 2-day voting schedule.
Ang magiging issue talaga namin dito is yung additional budget ng ating mga teachers, mga electoral boards. So, kasamaang palad, na-slash po yung budget ng ating mga teachers. We are still dependent on the budget given to us.
Instead, voting day may be extended by 5 hours.
Ayaw na ayaw talaga ng COMELEC at ng karamihan na maging 2 or 3 days itong botohan kasi nga tuwing palit ng shift, talagang may kababalagan na nangyayari. Baan na lang yung shift at yung oras ng pagboboto. Mag-umpisa ng napakaaga at matirang matibay hanggang gabi.
The COMELEC says 8 billion pesos is needed all in all to accommodate the adjustments in the next year's elections. COMELEC will have a simulation on Sunday to determine the number of extension hours needed for Election Day. As of today, there are already 62 million registered voters in the country. This is 3 million higher than COMELEC's original target of 59 million. Reporting for News 5, and Los Baños, we are One News.
Here's a quick look at some of today's headlines. Outdoor tourist attractions in Metro Manila, including some parts of Intramuros, are now open to visitors starting today as the region shifts to Alert Level 4. The PNP admits they still have no way to verify the authenticity of vaccination cards. And TNT ends Northport's winning streak and gets the twice-to-beat advantage in the Philippine Cup quarterfinals. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 1 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Jess De Los Santos, mask on, wash hands and stay safe. Philippines, we are One News.